Okay, so I'm going to be quick here because look. Try to explain this. Okay. Now I'm going to explain this. I've just closed the door because I can't hear. I've got stuff in my ears, but I can hear. But see, look. I'm going to try to explain it like this. This is a matrix. That means it is a mind control human matrix, okay? It's a mind control human matrix controlled through the human senses. That's why they have a destructive noise campaign going on around real humans at this end time situation in this earth. Now, let me try to explain it. I explain it this way. Look, see, when I turn the mobile on, they can turn the sound off, so I can't film it, and so I can't show it. Can't prove that it's a mind control, senses controlled matrix, human senses control, because it's only through my senses that they can control me. Because if they don't put sound in your ears and they don't put sight in your sight, in other words, if they don't mentally disturb you, the people around, which are android artificial technical beings that operate for the android technically controlling God of this matrix, the one-eyed technical based God that uses technology and uses the human beings that are also using technology or using these systems, using psychology that they know about the human mind. And they understand what can disturb a human. But because it's a mind control matrix, but because it's also done through covert means, because it plays at being a real world. In other words, I can't complain about the destructive tactics that are around me in this area that I live, which is essentially a base, a technical base, camouflaged as being a normal suburban area. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is this, is that the noise that goes on, the sight program that is levelled against me, and those that are a normal, natural human being, or at least think that way. And it is let me try to explain it. Bear with me. It is technically controlled. Everything is done through mind technology, in the sense that, in the sense that that's what's really taking place, because everything around me is being controlled through my senses. They control your mind through your senses, because otherwise I would be calm and relaxed now and wouldn't think it was such a bad reality. And they know that. So therefore my frequency and vibration rises, and then that gives them less control. So in order to control the reality so that they keep their negative, anti-life, destructive matrix going, destructive only if you're a real natural human being. But if you are not, if you are the android ones, of course, you see, it's basically a spiritual game waged against human beings, one that we don't want to be in, one that we've been unaware of, until they come down very heavy on you, where they completely expose themselves like they've done to me over the last 6 years nearly. Now it'll be 6 years at the end of the year. This is now, November, start of November. So, see this noise, which I can hear inside my house, but you see, what I'm trying to say is all this noise that's around me at the moment, like right around me, I'll just have to open the door because otherwise the mobile won't pick it up. But bear in mind that this noise comes right through this door into my ears, but I have to open the door so that the mobile will pick up the sound. But my ears pick up the sound really loud. And don't forget, this is a program that's been going on continually every day, wherever you go. Like when I come back, when I go down the road at the park, they will be always with their machines going in the park every day, no matter what day it is. There will always be someone making a noise. But at the moment, when you really try hard to raise your mood, shall we say, because that's your frequency and vibration, the human being has that ability. This was something that I discovered or had to figure out when they came down on me, because I couldn't for the life of me understand why they were hassling an old person. Like, why has a whole suburb combined and centered around me? That's what it appeared to me, and that's what it literally is. Because don't forget, they need the energy and they have to have the control. It's essentially keeping control of their world, their reality, the earth, as far as they're concerned. So they see it as like a war, even though you see it as just trying to survive and live and keep yourself from getting depressed, putting it bluntly. That's because it's a frequency and vibration. See, they're doing the work over there now, and they're also doing work next door, 2 major constructions, and they're making astronomical noise from when the sun comes up till it goes down, basically. So you're forced out. Just trying to prove the reality of it, because essentially this looks as though they're just doing construction, and they are doing construction, but it's a dual, double-edged sword. I'm trying to be fancy here. It's very hard for me to talk over the noise and to keep my sanity, to be honest. That's the whole purpose of it, is for you to lose your mind, because it's a mind control matrix, because they control your mood through your mind, which is only natural. If you're mentally disturbed by harassment through patrolling, it's all a mind control matrix. So it's all about controlling your mind and controlling your feelings and your reactions and your mood, therefore your frequency and vibration, because it's a spiritual frequency vibration reality or earth. But see, this noise is right outside, and then the other noise, which is next door, comes in through the back way. So as you can see, it's like, let me try to explain it this way. See, it's like I'm trapped, because if I come into the kitchen part of my house, then I've got this noise coming into my ears. If I go here to the back, even though obviously they're turning it off, but they can send the noise through here. So in other words, whatever part of the house, and it's the same if I go up the stairs, whatever part of the house I go into, they've got this covert noise program levelled against me. that comes into my ears, and don't forget, these are really loud noises, really negative vibrations, because it's major construction. But if I say that to someone, they say, oh, you're out of touch with the reality. You're not in touch with the reality like I'm trying to prove. You're out of touch because, yes, they are doing two major constructions right next door to you. And they've basically been doing these constructions over the last 6 years, because they've pulled down a couple of houses and put them to where I have this noise. It's at the moment, and then they have, of course, then they had huge work going up and down the street, pretending they were putting all lines everywhere for about a year, all this sort of stuff. But it's basically continual. And of course it's all over Leichhardt, all over the suburb where I am, and in the adjoining suburbs too. Because the actual council, which is like controls about 6 suburbs all around me, is part of this mind control matrix. They are all of that, you could say, of that belief system. It is a technological religion, you could almost say. That's the best way that I can describe it. You can figure that one out for yourself. In other words, you can figure it out for yourself about the religion aspect. A belief system, I say it's a spiritual matrix, even though it's really a technical matrix. The technical aspect is the artificial spirituality, which is levelled against the real spirituality, which is a natural human being, or what was originally a natural human being. If you follow me, I don't think I'm making sense, but all I'm trying to show, see, the sound has stopped now, because don't forget that they know your every move, not only as you're making it, because they read the human thought at a conscious and subconscious level. They're very advanced. And I'm denied full access to my full mind because I'm suppressed and at my lowest human level. This was what I discovered at this late stage of my life, when it's too late, only because they came down in order to keep my mood low, because that gives them less control. The human beings are the secret controllers, unaware controllers of the matrix, but we are controlled through our emotions by those around us, which are the artificial beings that bring in their systems to mind control you, to keep you under their control so they have full control of the earth. I don't think I'm explaining this properly. I'm being controlled, as you can see, by my senses, my sight and my sound. Everywhere I go, whether it's day or night, of a night time they usually use sight and sound, but the sight aspect will be more predominant of night because they can't make as much technical noise, but the traffic can be very loud where they go, and the patrolling control system, which makes you feel intimidated and trapped and suppressed, but also the sight with the flickering lights on the cars everywhere, a car always with its light on, just pretending to be parked, but with its lights, they are watching and patrolling. But also that takes your concentration, but also it is impossible for your eyes to avoid it if it's everywhere your eyes look. This is something I cannot show. Unfortunately, the human being only has to endure and experience it. It's the same with the sound. I can show that they're doing construction, but can I prove that that construction is deliberately, unnecessarily loud, and that it is turning it on when I'm up, when I'm around, when I'm in the house? They probably turn all that sound off as soon as I go down the road. And then they turn on some other noise when you go down the road. You see what I'm saying? But how can you prove this to someone else? Most people say, well, yes, they're doing an awful lot of work in Leichhardt. But of course, don't forget that most people are in cognitive dissonance and total denial. I notice whenever I say something to someone when I'm just about at my wit's end, I'll say, oh, they're doing an awful lot of work, or isn't it noisy? How can you stand it? And they'll be, oh, well, yeah, that's good work though, because they only see it's an isolated incident. In other words, if I point out one lot of work, most people, if they're only passing through or only seeing that one lot of work, they don't think that's terrible. They don't know that it is continual around a real human being. That when I come home, I've got this work going on here. But see, they can turn it off. See, right now, I showed you what was outside there, but here, coming through this side of the house, which has been the main noise and will be the main noise because they're building a huge boarding place right next door. And they've got to dig